Good evening. I'd like to call the Dearborn Public Schools regular meeting of December 8th, 2014 to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Adams? Here. Trustee Guido? Here. Trustee Lane? Here. Trustee McDonald?
Here.
Trustee Schellis here. Trustee Schoolmaster?
Here.
President Barry?
Here. Next item, please.
Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Ms. Haim Al-Qadri, Principal of McCullough Eunice, will introduce students who will lead in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. We're coming from Aviators Land, and I brought with me two wonderful fifth graders who are also Student of the Month from November. And before I continue, I want to send my best wishes to the three board members that are leaving. First one is Rania Bazzi, fifth grader, and Lena Bawazir.
Welcome.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wait, you girls are fast.
You guys could come forward.
Move it along.
Good job. We're just going to start. After my own. What's your favorite subject? Math. Okay. What's your favorite subject? Math.
Math.
Do they know how to sing or dance?
Just joking.
Or tell a joke?
Entertain us.
Why don't we do that? We'll give the certificates to your principal. Thank you very much for coming. Good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Have a good holiday.
Next item, please.
Superintendent's updates, agenda items.
We do have some retirements I'd like to talk about very quickly. Patty Bowie, a Hague principal, has served almost 27 years in the district and did so very well. Mark Babinski, Division of District Operations, painter, 33 years of service. Lorraine Jefferson, Department of Phys Ed for 21 and a quarter years. Mary Pismeni, Dearborn Coordinator 2 for Literacy the last few years, served 28 and a third years. Roberta Reese, Director of District Operations Secretary, 26 years. Adriana Tarnowski, Dearborn Spanish teacher, 23 and a half years, will be retiring here with the board's approval this evening. So we certainly offer all of them congratulations as they move off to their next phase in life.
Any non-agenda items?
The only one I wanted to quickly talk about is the House of Representatives under the, passed a bill to fund roads, and they did that by taking sales tax revenue that goes to P12 to switch it to roads, and when fully implemented, could impact schools of around $400 to $500 per pupil, and that would just be devastating, obviously, to lose that money. And so we need to encourage all of our residents and taxpayers to let them know, yes, we need to fix roads, but we don't do it by stealing from the school children. That's all I have.
Trustee Lane,
I
I'm sure
would
you got
just like
something
to
to
add
say.
to that, I've been following a little bit the legislation. I don't read it as much as I should because there's just so much, and some of it's kind of discouraging to me anyways. Not only, in that situation, it seems like it's almost, they haven't I don't like the solution. We all know the roads need to be fixed, but not to identify where the money is supposed to come from in the future, to just say it'll materialize and that they're not going to hold the schools, they're not going to harm the schools, and somewhere they'll get the money. Unless they can identify, I really hope that people won't go along with this program. And people need to say the schools have been cut enough. So that's all I wanted to comment.
Anybody else? Next item, please.
I think I've said my piece on that topic.
Yeah.
Citizen participation. Citizens wishing to address the board on an agenda or non-agenda items for action who are signed in by 7:10 by submitting a blue card to the secretary may speak at this time. I have no blue cards.
Okay, next item.
Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes of the following Dearborn Board of Education meetings. Regular P12 meeting, November 10th, 2014. Board Report 14-58. Recommended action, make any necessary corrections, and move approval of these minutes.
So moved.
Support.
Motion support. Are there any corrections? Trustee McDonald?
On page 5, under special reports, official student count, the second number is 1,000 off. I'm sure it's just a clerical error, but you'll notice on page 5.
Any other comments, changes?
You see what I mean?
That's all right, we'll get it.
Are there any objections? Then the motion will carry as amended. Next item, please.
Recognition and acknowledgements, commendations. Today, Isaiah Goddard from 9th grade from Dearborn High will read our commendations.
These are your district commendations. Commendations to Nicole Chubb, behavioral specialist, and to Stacy Aller, occupational therapist. The team paired up to present to approximately 60 classroom teachers, resource teachers, and special education support staff. Their 3-hour session provided Tier 1 and Tier 2 classroom management techniques, as well as strategies and inventions that can be used in the classroom to support challenging behaviors. It was a very successful afternoon of sharing and learning new information that can benefit all students in our classrooms. These are your Fortson High School commendations. Commendations to Fortson football players, Hussein Cadell and Jamil Sabag, for receiving Associated Press All-Star honors. Commendations for Dearborn High School. Commendations to Dearborn High School student Jamila Nasser, who at the age of 16 is an Arab American award-winning writer and journalist. The 11th grade student recently published her first book, a 670-page teenage romance novel titled What He Never Knew. She has been awarded by both the Michigan Interscholastic Press Association and the Asian American Journalist Association. Commendations to the 2014 Dearborn High School girls golf team for being the first DHS girls golf team to ever win the MHSSA Girls Regional Championship, as well for being recognized as an academic all-state team with the team grade point average of 3.67. Special recognition to senior co-captains Madison Ranko and Elena Bowser. Both girls have been recognized as being among the best of Michigan's high school female golfers in 2014. In addition, Elena was named Michigan's Miss Golf, the highest recognition in the state for female high school golfers. She won first place in 9 of the 12 tournaments in which she played this season. And Madison Ranko was named the 2014 All-State team. She is one of the 13 golfers on the Division I team. Madison also received an individual academic all-state honorable mention recognizing her academic success. Congratulations to the team and to the coaches, Howard Inch and Kevin Barkoff. Commendations to the DHS Athletic Director Jeff Conway and the engineer John Fiola and all the hard-working staff at Dearborn High for their efforts to successfully host a state semifinal high school football game. The Michigan High School Athletic Association sent a very complimentary letter to DHS Principal Chuck Bachman, thanking the school for doing such an outstanding job. These are Macaulay Eunice's commendations. Commendations to the students at Macaulay Eunice who collected $700 for the American Cancer Society to increase cancer awareness. The fundraiser was organized by Student Council Advisor April Kincaid and the students serving on the Student Council. These are your Michael Berry Career Center commendations. Commendations to the health occupations of Students of America. Students at the Michael Berry Career Center who collected over $500 in coins for Trick or Treat for the UNICEF. They also had a food drive for non-perishable food that they distributed to local needy families. Special thanks to student Asma Jalib and who spearheaded both events.
Very
Those
well
are your
done.
board
Very
combinations.
much. Good job.
And he does this with a cold and losing his voice, so we thank him for being here.
Thank you.
I think that was probably one of the best commendations we've had. It was so passionate, yeah.
Either that or radio
Great.
announcer.
Communications of some sort.
Anybody want to follow that one?
Yeah, no kidding. And he didn't even botch any names. I'm so impressed. He did.
Next item?
Next item, retiring board members.
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to certainly congratulate our 3 board members for their years of service to this district and to this community. You know, being a board member is a very tough job. You work long hours. You're gone from your families to 2, 3, 4 events each evening. You can't go out to the grocery store or the restaurant with your family without somebody coming up and sharing their thoughts or concerns with you, which is good, but it also just takes a toll on board members. And I certainly, on behalf of Dr. Stan Jensen, who is here on the college, want to thank our board members for their years of dedicated service. And to Mr. Barry, who served for 5 years, Mr. Schoolmaster, 13 years, and Pam for your 18 years of service. Certainly, we want to thank you for that. It's just an amazing, if you think about the number of students that you have impacted during those terms, is just remarkable. The impact, positive impact on the lives of kids that you have had, both here and at the college. And you've had to make difficult decisions surrounding budgets, personnel issues, student issues, and these are always very difficult, heartwarming, heartbreaking decisions that you have to make, but you all did it with class and putting students first. So on behalf of the administration, I certainly want to thank each and every one of you personally for your dedication, your years of service and caring. And we have a small token of our appreciation to give to you. So Pam.
Thank you.
Give that to her, Jim. I can't reach. Jim.
Thank you.
Sure enjoying this, right? Yep. Hussein Barry, if you guys would like to open those, go ahead.
So pretty.
And as they're doing that, I know that we have Gary Warrencheck here, our county commissioner, who is here to represent himself, and State Representative George Duraney and State Senator Morris Hood. So if you could come forward, I know you have some recognitions you'd like to pass on. Heavy recognition.
Probably gold bricks from Lansing.
Yeah, gold bricks, yeah.
See, the shoulder's working better. I can do that. Come along.
Well, good evening.
Let's just give them 1 second to open their presents,
Oh, yes.
and we'll move on.
We're making noise right now, Phil.
Now you guys have to do it all at once.
Yeah, otherwise. Got the safety cap on there.
See how this is looking. Did you figure it out?
It's not ticking, is it?
No.
Policy book.
So you can continue to read the board policies. No, it is a book, but there's a gold clock in there. It's not a watch, Jim, but a gold watch.
Thank you,
And a
Brian.
plaque.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Well, David, I think, actually came up with the actual award, but we want to thank you.
Very pretty.
Let me look at it.
We'll never be late again.
That's right.
Yeah,
But shaped as a book as appropriate.
very nice.
Very nice.
Can you see it? Very nice.
All right, Gary, if you want to come up.
Thank you very much.
No pressure, Dr. Jensen, no pressure.
Those are beautiful.
They are.
They are, very nice.
They
Thank
really
you.
are.
Well, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Happy to be here this evening. This is a very a special, unprecedented night. In my memory, which goes back 10 years as county commissioner, 6 years as state rep, 25 years at a local newspaper, hard to admit that I could remember 40 years of Dearborn Public Schools. I don't think that 3 have ever departed three trustees have ever departed at the same time, so this is unprecedented and a special night. And I'm here, as was mentioned, on behalf also of State Representative George Deraney, who very much wanted to be here but could not, to thank you for your service and to wish you well and to give you a couple of things to hang on your wall. It's hard to believe, President Barry Hussein, that it's only been one term. It's hard. It's impossible to believe, because as long as I've known you and as long as George has known you, and many, many years that goes back, you've always been about the kids. And even after today, you will always be about the kids and about public service. I have no question that you're going to continue to be a leader in the community, and look forward to working with you in the future. But thank you for now for your service in this role. Jim, schoolmaster, you know, I have to admit, first time I saw your name on a ballot, I thought it was made up. Schoolmaster, running for school board, right? Somebody's got a sense of humor. But you have served very well, and as an attorney, you brought a perspective and a level-headedness that I think has served our district well for many years, and I thank you for your service. Pamela, as a fellow graduate of Etzel Ford High School, and as Representative Deraney is, we're very proud of the service that you provided over the years, and I know that your heart is so big, and you've always felt so deeply about the issues and the students in the school that you've been in many ways the heart of the board, and appreciate all you have done as well.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
I have resolutions from Wayne County, the Wayne County Commission, and I have, even more impressively, State of Michigan certificates of tribute. I won't read them all, but they're signed by Representative Deraney, State Senator Morris Hood, and Governor Rick Snyder, and we should probably send him a message about that road plan as well.
Issue. Thanks for the certificate, but.
Right.
Well, he has come out and opposed it.
Yes, in fact,
It's true, he has.
as a side note, yes, the governor doesn't want to go along with hurting schools, because he knows of the dedicated people like yourselves who continue to and have put in so much time for our kids and for our schools. Anyway, there's probably no graceful way to pass these out, so I'll just bring them to you individually. I would ask, how about if we get our young man who helped out with the commendations, because he could have done a much better job than I did with this. So, give him those in it. Again, there's one from Wayne County, one from Wayne County, and one from the state of Michigan, from George and Morris. So.
I'd just like to say it takes a village. We've had wonderful representatives. Gary Warrencheck has a representative, Gino Polidori, Morris Hood, George Deraney. We could not have asked for better representatives, and we could not have asked for somebody that was more involved in the schools. In fact, Gary, you are so good that I voted for you as a Republican and as a Democrat.
I do too.
And, you know, you deserve it. So thank you.
And that's like being a Spartan fan.
Oh, well, let's not go that far.
But we really do have good.
We do. We have good representatives. Get over here, son.
Okay, do you want me to stand in back too?
No.
Okay.
Otherwise, you make everybody
Cover up
else
my
look
stomach.
short.
Yeah, me too.
That's why they have buttons on coats.
Yep.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Yep.
Thank you.
So certainly, if we can thank the board for their service.
Trustee Shellis?
I know that we had a little celebration prior to the board meeting, and we all had some words to share with the outgoing school board members, but I think that it's important for the viewing audience to hear it as well. You know, we've spent a lot of time together in the last decade plus. Gosh, it's been a long time. Jim and I got to come onto the board in the fun times when we started budget cuts, so that was pleasant.
Boundary changes.
Yeah,
those are the
insert
worst.
sarcasm here. it's been an interesting ride, and it's going to be a sad day for the districts, because each and every one of you have brought a perspective to the board that was much needed. And it's not important that we all agree. It's important that we all get along and that we all respect each other and that we all work well with each other. And I think that this board has developed into that board. And it's sad for me to see that end, because I think that everybody has kind of found their groove. And it's been a really good learning experience. I think that we've all helped each other grow. I know you guys have helped me grow as a person and as a board member, and I will always rely on experiences and my thoughts of, well, how would Jim think about this, or what would Pam say, or I could just hear Hussein whispering in my ear. We're 7 individual people who are forced to work together, and it's difficult. And I don't think that everybody understands sometimes how difficult that is, but there's a reason that we're 7 individuals, because we all bring a perspective that's much needed, because there is no one person who represents everybody in the district. And it's important to have those opinions, and it's important that we all listen to each other and that we can influence each other and do what's in the best interest of kids. And I know that everybody in this room, that the bottom line is what is the best thing for kids. And I appreciate the service. No one understands more about what it takes to serve on a board than people who are serving on a board, and they don't know the sacrifices that you make, and it is a sacrifice. And there's so many years in this room right now that it's going to be a sad time. No offense to the new incoming board members. I don't mean it that way, but I'm glad that you'll all just be a phone call away. And thank you for everything.
Thank you for those comments. Trustee Lane?
I don't think there's much I can say, but I have been thinking for several months about the 3 of you leaving, and I will miss you all so much. And thank you for everything.
Thank you, Mary.
I don't think that we want to leave the people at all. I want to leave the school board because of the fact that, once again, it's time for a younger person to be on the school board.
Younger
I'm
than
going to be
you?
67, and so all of a sudden, if I ran for re-election, I'd be 74, and it's just too late. But I have enjoyed so much being with everyone, Sharon Dolmage, Mary Lane, Roxanne McDonald. I've constantly held up Amy as an example for everyone. She first started going to school when I first started on the school board. Now she's got a master's, and she's doing so well, and what an individual example. Joe Guido has been there every minute. He's just wonderful.
And hasn't aged a day.
Even-tempered one of us.
I know.
Someone isn't looking at that picture.
I know.
He calms us all down.
Pam cares so much about the students, and Hussein, I could just go on, Daryl Donaldson and the people that we've served with, because it's the people that I'm going to miss. It's certainly not reading Brian's 100-page notes every week.
Those are outstanding. They're working very well.
They're so boring. I
Now,
I duplicate them and take them to bed, and it really helps me sleep. Yet. Once again, I feel that we're a team. We've worked as a team. We've gone through so much. We built 6 schools, 7 schools, 8 schools. We've built athletic facilities. We've rewired the schools. The schools are so different since we've been part of this district. And so, all I can do is I'm gratified for the people that voted for me. I'm gratified for the people that I worked with. And so thank everyone. I'm leaving without a regret, without a bad feeling in my heart, and that's the best way to leave, isn't it? When you can be so happy.
Well, a friend of mine, Jackie Rive, knows me very well, so she gave me a present before the meeting tonight, which is a box of Kleenex. Yeah, this is difficult. I've enjoyed all the years made some really good friends out there and in the buildings and at the college. You get to know the people and it's really been a big part of my life. The other board members I have enjoyed, and you're absolutely right. I think we did get into a groove the last few years, and I hope it continues. I think there's some good board members coming in, and so I hope the new board works as well together as we did. It may take a little while to make that happen, but we've brought 7 different opinions. Sometimes we've disagreed, sometimes we've been angry with one another, but we've managed to get past it. And I totally respect all of you and have enjoyed working with you, and I hope after I get physically able, I'll be back and serve on committees or somehow be involved. I lived here all my life, went to the schools, my kids went to the schools, so this is my way of giving back. So I appreciate the years, and I'll miss everybody. I will miss going to the meetings on Monday night, and I will miss reading the board notes.
You're always welcome.
I know, and I'll miss seeing Hussein everywhere we go, because he's always there. He's always there for the district and the kids.
It's been an honor to serve this great community, to serve the students of the Dearborn Public School System. All of my life, I've served as much as I can in this community when it came to the youth and education. So this last 5 years has been like a dream to me, to be honest with you. Just be part of something. Everything we've accomplished the last 5 years. With this board, what could I say? I've learned so much from Joe and Pam and Jim and Mary and Roxanne and Amy. Yeah, we don't always agree on things, but at the end of the day, whatever we decide, that's, we always stuck with it. I serve on other boards. It's not like that. I've seen it where people leave the boardroom and go out there and put propaganda out there, and so-and-so wanted to vote this way, and putting the organization out in a bad light. But this has been a great experience for me. Everybody's been asking me, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be in this community for the rest of my life. But this board, the 4 veterans that we have here, so we stay on the board, and there's no doubt in my mind, I'm very, very confident the 3 new additions to the board here, they're going to continue. What we are proud of for the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, what we've accomplished. And I think Jim said it best. You narrow it down to what's in the best interest of our students, and decisions are easy. When it comes to the budget, when it comes to busing situation, athletics, classrooms. One thing I've learned the last 5 years, I've always had appreciation for teachers. I actually married one 10 years ago. But what you do in the classroom is just unbelievable. I mean, we can't find enough money to pay you for what you do. So thank you, and continue doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Just one thought. When I first was elected to the board, I was talking to a man that I really respected, Andy Mazzara, at the college, and he said, always make a decision on what's best for kids, and you can't go wrong.
That's right.
So I've tried to follow that. It was very good advice. So I would tell that to any board member. Make your decisions on what's best for the students, and you won't go wrong.
Next item, please.
That's kind of
Can't we just adjourn?
How do you follow that one? Well, I think this one will be good. Art Department empty bowls.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I hope
Great
they
art
brought.
You guys sure know how to line up the agenda. I mean,
Did you bring some extras? Because
got
I
all the
didn't get
heavy
there. I
hitters out
always
today.
add to my
That's
collection.
going to be quite something to follow, but at least this will be something really positive. Well, not that
Very
that
hard.
wasn't. The Dearborn Public Schools Art Department held their 23rd annual Empty Bowls Dinner recently on November 24th. We were able to raise over $3,500 to help combat hunger, $2,000 of that has already been donated to Gleaners Food Bank, and that amount was doubled to $4,000. The remainder will be donated to our local Blessings in a Backpack. Donations are still trickling in. Art teacher John Hardum created Empty Bowls. He was a graduate of the Edsel Ford High School Humanities program, which he credits with helping him to become a creative person. His idea has since grown into an international organization known as Imagine Render, and Empty Bowls meals are now held all over the world. The concept of this service learning experience is that students create bowls, and a simple meal of soup and bread is offered for a small donation. Contributors enjoy the simple meal and take away a bowl to keep as a reminder of the fact that some go hungry. The donations are used to help feed people. We have many supporters to thank for helping to make our meal possible. Gary Kuhlman and the staff of Park Place, East Dearborn Starbucks, Bonaventure LLC, and many others. We also have held a semi-private meal in the spring at Henry Ford Village for the past 3 years, which features collaboration between the senior citizens and our students, including some with special needs. We wish to thank Brian Whiston for his tremendous support in helping to make our Henry Ford Village Empty Bowls meal possible. Dale Russell, our department Empty Bowls chairperson, and I would like to offer each of you the gift of a bowl. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I left that out. It's the West Dearborn Starbucks. Dale reminds me that supports the Park Place.
It was very hard to go around and pick out a bowl because the kids and the staff do such a great job. It's just the tremendous work that the students do, and I'm always jealous.
I've been doing some.
There's a giant variety. When you go, there's a great big variety.
Yeah,
The
different
last few
styles.
years, I've been buying the plaques that you can hang on the wall, and I have them lined up in my kitchen.
Oh,
Oh, very cool.
thanks.
Yeah. I wasn't able to get there this year, so.
So you get a bowl.
Well, I'd just like to thank Blair for my bowl.
Oh, okay.
And I'd like to thank Mo.
I'd like to thank Leah. Beautiful bowl.
Nice job.
Yes, very nice.
Which one do you want, Joe?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
That's the one I have.
Yeah, I wanted that one. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
hard work,
Thank
and all
you.
the teachers. Thank you very
lovely.
much.
Next item, please.
Dearborn Education Foundation, Michigan Business Education Excellence Award.
The Dearborn Education Foundation put the school district up for an award for its 5-year plan. We went there that evening, and it was a very nice evening, knowing that we were going to win one award, but there was a surprise. So,
Yeah, there was.
Thank you, Eddie.
I want to first say thank you, and I want to say congratulations and thank you for all your years of service for those that are retiring. Foundation really, really appreciates the support of the entire board. But for the three of you specifically, thank you. You're always at our events, always supporting our efforts. And from
Still
the
be there.
board from our board, we want to say thank you and congratulations for all the years of service. Yes, there was a surprise. I thought it was a wonderful surprise. So the foundation has a great job, and you all make it easy. Why? Because you create a product that makes it easy for me and our board to get out into the private sector and educate people and tell the story of how wonderful our school district is. Over the summer, a board member, Maria Dwyer, who's also a partner at Clark Hill, approached me with an opportunity to nominate this school district through the MichBusiness Professionals Association. And we worked with Dave Mustinen and created our story, submitted it, and the end result was, yes, an award in Best in Education. That, to me, was an obvious. I'm glad that they recognized it. And then along the way, we were submitting the nomination for Large Business Award. And to hear that this school district was recognized for the value that we bring to this community in preparing students with a creative collegiate academy program set us over the edge in a business environment. So it says a lot to know that we beat out entities like American Red Cross on a national level and Chase Bank.
Who only
Chase
gave
Bank,
$100 million.
Yeah, were announced for. I mean, it says a lot because of the creativity of this district and the value that we bring. So, I felt very proud to know that our school district won that award. And on behalf of the foundation, our role to market and tell the story of this district, it was a wonderful night for us all. So, congratulations to the district, to all of your leadership, but more importantly, to the teachers and administrators that make it happen, and to our wonderful students that have all the potential to make it happen. So thank you.
The awards are right there if you want to pass them around to the board. They're right there. I can see them.
Oh, I see them.
If you want to pass them around to the board. They're very heavy, so.
Yeah, they are. I'll take one this way.
So that one is for the Education Award, and then that one was for the Top Business Award.
I think it's very impressive that a school district won a business award.
It is.
It says a lot about the breadth of our
Absolutely. The story that we told, the help of Maria and Dave putting and framing that story so that it's clearly stated as to the value that this district brings to its community, made it all happen. So I want to thank them for that as well. I might as well stay up here,
Yep,
right?
for Mardi Gras.
I have a couple board members that committee. One of the best things that I love to talk about are all the events that we put together. And one of the more fun events is our annual Mardi Gras celebration. So the Mardi Gras celebration is something that I know that you all look forward to, and I want to thank you year after year for always attending and supporting the event. And our community does a phenomenal job of standing behind us at this event. We have a lot to talk about today, and we'll bring up some board members and committee members, but Mardi Gras brings thousands of dollars into our school district, thousands, and it goes a long way to fund teacher grants. It's a very fun event, it's an inexpensive event, and there's a lot to be said. None of this would be possible without volunteers and a strong committee. We have a great deal of folks in the community that step up every year. This Mardi Gras celebration is led by a team of DFCU volunteers, and our board member, Karen Solferino, who represents DFCU, leads this committee year after year and does a successful job. And I want to introduce Karen Solferino to tell you more about it.
Yes, I want to say the Mardi Gras is a really big event for the Dearborn Education Foundation to help bring fundraised needed dollars back to the schools. Your teachers provide request grants for that missing piece that's in their classroom and that little extra that they need to help present and teach to their students in a way that they find most appropriate. So the fundraising dollars is really what we need to help make those grant requests available. Again, it's the annual Mardi Gras. A couple changes this year. We just want to bring a note and attention. We are going to change our venue. We're going to be at the Dearborn Performing Arts Center this year. And we are going to stick to the traditional Fat Tuesday, which will be February 17th. And yes, that is during midwinter break. So we hope that that won't discourage people, but would rather make the evening more available to people to stay and enjoy the entire night. We're going to add a couple extra features to the evening. We're soliciting the art department, who was just here with an event that we hope that the art classes will participate in for the middle school level to help that involvement. We're also doing pre-packaged tickets to help encourage people to attend by bundling items together for the event under one lower price to help more possibility of more teachers and the communities that help the schools to come to enjoy the evening. I want to ask anything else, ladies, that we need to mention?
We have tickets.
We have tickets.
Good sales.
We're also
You gotta sell.
incentivizing employees of the district.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes, and because it's during midwinter break, we're giving the employees, if they can identify themselves as an employee, a district of the employee, they will get a gift at registration. So again, for those people that during midwinter break, if you could come into the Dearborn Performing Arts Center on the traditional Fat Tuesday, February 17th, please do, so we can try to make it worth your while with additional things. And I have tickets available in my hand for $20 for early tickets. If you want to buy them, you can see me later. And I want to also, we're doing sponsor events as well every year. We've got posters going out for how different groups of the community can help sponsor the event. Again, the sponsors is what drives the monies in, so we can help support our grants. And I want to turn it over to Eddie, because we'll continue with something else that we've added to the Mardi Gras event.
So one of the biggest draws that have grown year after year in the last couple of years has been the Big Shot 50/50 raffle. So this was an idea a few years back. It's been extremely successful. It resulted in tens of thousands of dollars coming back to our teachers. This year, it's in its third year. 100 tickets are sold at $500 each. Groups of friends, organizations, businesses can purchase, donate on behalf of a school or nonprofit. We only sell 100, and that winner that night will do the drawing, will walk away with half the pot. So $25,000 is up for grabs, and we encourage everyone to encourage your friends and businesses that you are that you may patronize or that you might be able to encourage to jump in on this. It's been successful. There's a groundswell already. We just started about a month and a half ago. We have over 32 commitments already. So we still have a long way, but I know we'll make it, and I hope that you all will help promote and encourage the participation. So again, thank you. Thank you very much, and these events are important. It's what drives the dollars back to our classes. So again, great night. Thank you so much.
It's nice, the Mardi Gras has grown so big, we have to move the location.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw that,
wonderful.
It's grown and grown, so.
Yeah, pretty tight over there.
Eddie, thank you and your board of directors for what you've been doing for the last few years. I'm very proud of you, and congratulations on the awards, too. It's your awards, too. Next item, please.
Donations.
We have 8 donations. A donation of $3,000 has been offered to Michael Berry Career Center by Square One Education Network to be used towards the building of an electric vehicle for the Innovative Vehicle Design Competition. A donation of $180 has been offered to River Oaks Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for a classroom My Learning Plan materials for students taking ownership of their learning. A donation of $2,500 has been offered to DCMST by the Dearborn Education Foundation in partnership with Panasonic to be used for the STEM enrichment material. A donation of $1,700 has been offered to Henry Ford Elementary by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for a laminator. A donation of $6,750 has been offered to Hague Elementary by the Dearborn Education Foundation in partnership with AXA to be used for 2 Promethean boards. A donation of $1,000 has been offered to O.L. Smith School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for life skill items for special ed. And a donation of $1,800 has been offered to the Department of Instructional Services, Affective Education by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for the Religious Diversity Journey program. And finally, a donation of 120 books has been offered to Edsel Ford High School by Miss Joanne Harris to be used in the literacy department. We thank every one of these people for these donations to enrich the lives of our children. Thank you.
Trustee Lane?
Since we're just talking about the DEF Superintendent Whiston, could we perhaps have a summary of the 2014 donations?
Sure.
So that we could see those? I suppose they probably have them on their website,
can
but
get 'em
I
up.
haven't looked at it recently, so
No problem.
I'd like to
Good
know
report.
what the
Summary of the
total is
donations
and all
and the
that,
grants.
so, yep,
Sure.
thank you.
Great.
Anybody else? Okay. Next item, please. Other, anything other than?
Nothing.
Okay. Reports?
Special reports, technology update. Mr. Brian Whiston, Dr. Gail Shankman, Mr. Troy Patterson.
And we're actually going to turn it over to Troy Patterson to give you a technology update. We love Google.
We do?
Gmail.
No, Google Apps, isn't it?
It's Gmail.
Is it
We use
Gmail?
Gmail.
Oh.
And he's going to wipe us out soon. We won't even be able to access it anymore.
Yeah, what are you gonna
Is
do
it midnight,
without those?
December 31st?
Without those hundreds of emails. Gosh.
Midnight, December 31st, is that when I go away?
It's whenever he tells me it goes away.
I think that we're able to switch, aren't we able to switch or something, that they are able to give us a forwarding address?
Yeah, they'll take care of it.
And there is a way you can take all of your data with you, which is one of the nice things that we like about Google Apps, is that actually anybody who has stuff can take their data with them. And it's one of those things
I don't
that
want
we...
my data. I just want my new stuff.
It's one of those things that we believe in, is data portability, so.
Okay.
So, I'm sure everybody is ready to talk about 1 gig and 10 gig and...
I got a gig
We've had
Saturday
a
night,
long
too.
gig here.
That kind of gig?
Yeah, it's my pleasure to provide you with a very quick update on the technology.
So would that be like half a gig presentation? Ba-dum-bum.
Don't want to be shortchanged.
Drum rolls.
The network upgrade is well underway, and we have some exciting pictures of switches there for you. Just because I don't get to
I was
do
hoping
too
this for
often.
the last meeting that I was going to have.
I know. I was like, what do they really want to see?
How impressive.
They want to see switches. And these are some of the boring things that nobody cares about except like me and a few of my friends, until they don't work. And then everybody cares about it. So it is very nice that we're making the switch. And we are moving from 1 gig to 10 gig, which essentially means we're going from a little pipe to a big pipe. So we're able to get a lot more information back and forth. And recently we've been kind of filling the pipes up. So we've had some issues because we've just run out of room. So this was very timely to move to a bigger, stronger, more robust network. The other thing that we're bringing in is we're bringing in wireless. And it's been fascinating to me to see the change from wireless being something that's really, really nice and, gee, it's great, to, what do you mean there's not wireless here? So we are in the process of implementing wireless in every single building. We will be done, we're predicting before the end of January. We have a lot of schools are already done, and staff is using it. We've brought in a lot of things to make it more user-friendly. So staff uses their district credentials, or use the same username and password as they do anywhere. They don't have to know a special magic word and phrase, no special dance. Students can also use the wireless, and community members can walk in and use the wireless as well. So we are able to provide that service for everyone. The other thing that we are working on is we're bringing in some threat management. We're not worried about these kinds of clouds, but we are worried about things that happen on the network, and having a robust threat management system is important. Filtering is very important. We want kids to be able to search the internet, but we want them to be able to do so safely. And as you can imagine, the amount of websites created and the creativity of some of the people who are creating websites means that that's a constant challenge. So we're very happy to update our filters so that we can provide appropriate access to kids and to staff members, because they do need different access levels. And every year, I get to tell you that we do follow SIPA, which is the Children's Internet Protection Act. So every year, I have to tell you guys and all of the community that it is part of our acceptable use policy, and that we do filter for visual depictions deemed obscene, child pornography, and anything that's harmful to minors. Okay, so that's all the fun stuff. But why do we do this? And that's one of the important parts that my department is also really concerned about. We've got some fantastic things happening in the department and throughout the schools. Unfortunately, Robert Harrison, who is one of the wonderful teachers over at Etzel Ford, wasn't able to join us tonight. But I did want to share with you some of the things that he's doing specifically with iLearn. With iLearn, he's brought in a course that he does the flipped classroom with the kids. So he's doing presentation using Big Blue Button, and this is his site right here. He's got a lot of information for the kids, and one of the really neat things is that he does Big Blue Button, which means he can record these presentations and the kids can watch it when they want to. So they get a chance to go back and look over it for kids who need more time. He's also done some time shifting by presenting this at a different time so that the kids don't even have to physically be in school at the time that he's giving the presentation. It's phenomenal. The kids have also written books thinking about how it is they do reading. So here's a science teacher bringing in reading, bringing in kids thinking about their reading and how they use those strategies. And then all of the AP teachers at Edsel Ford are also collaborating using this single tool. So there's some really great things coming that are happening. We are helping to facilitate that transition and all of that information. Michelle Bissonette over at the ACE program is also doing some terrific work with kids and with math. And Miss Jennifer Frizel is also lending us some of her work so we can help create model courses that we can then share with other teachers. And that means other teachers don't have to start from scratch and do everything from the get-go, but they can start with excellent work and we can build from there. I told you I'd be quick.
That was quick, that's good.
Thank you.
Now, a lot of that money we're spending, that's because the bond?
Yes,
Okay, so we get a chance here to thank our taxpayers.
absolutely.
Any questions? Okay.
I just wondered how long will this new system be current or viable? I mean, it seems to change so fast.
Well, current is a tough word in technology
Yeah.
because current is kind of like buying a car. And you drive it off the lot.
It's a used car.
It's a used car. And technology changes so rapidly that that's a challenge. We have built this with the intention of it lasting for 10 years.
Good.
And with everything we're doing has at least 5 years of updates and warranties, and that's about as long as any technology will grant you, is 5 years of support.
Well, it'll serve the district well for a while.
Absolutely.
Good.
When we went out for the bond, that was our pledge to the community, was that this was a 10-year fix for technology. So.
Okay, great, thank you
Except
very
my
much.
crystal ball's not working. I don't know about yours,
Yeah, I
but
understand, but best we can do.
Yeah.
Thank you for that report.
No,
Next
it's a good
report, please.
investment.
Thank you, Troy.
Next item, Focus School Report, First Quarter Board Report 14-59, Mr. Brian Whiston, Dr. Gail Schenkman, Ms. Kathleen McBroom.
And we're going to turn it over to Ms. Kathleen McBroom to give us a report as required by law.
We also believe in security. So the computer is locked.
While David's getting me back on, I just wanted to say that I knew that retiring board members would not feel that their careers and possibly their lives would be complete unless they got to hear one more state-mandated focus and priority school report, and I'm happy to be able to oblige.
And I was going to save this long report for a very cold winter day.
Yeah,
I have nothing else to do. I will read it.
This is the new requirement. This is the new template that is required from Michigan Department of Ed for these reports now. And I know you really want me to stand here and read you page by page with accompanying PowerPoint slides for everyone, but instead I'm going to do a very brief summary and hope that you will take the time to read this sometimes at your leisure. And if you do have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you at any point in time. So, whoops, oh well. Go there. Okay, so we have a quarterly template. It will be updated, and actually it will become longer as we go through the school year, and I have more information to put in here. Kinds of things we report on are just the basics, the demographics, the achievement data, subgroup performance. I've kept you informed along the line about all of these items. The superintendent's dropout challenge, this is something you may not be as familiar with. These are initiatives that schools put in place to help kids make it all the way through to graduation, beginning in kindergarten. And these are beyond the academic supports that we give kids. These are the kids who maybe need some social or emotional support, whether it's temporary or ongoing. Kids that would fall outside of maybe like having identified a specific problem, but might be going through something at home or some kind of just additional adult attention would benefit them. Then the professional development for the teachers, of course, to make sure that the teachers are able to provide the type of instruction that will move these kids along, and the Title I allocations, how we are spending the allocated set-asides both at the school and the district level to support the schools. So all of that, again, is spelled out in pretty significant detail in the report that you have. Very quickly, this year we have 6 focus schools. These designations change every year. Dearborn High is in year 2. They qualified based on their reading, science, social studies scores. Hague is in year 3. Now in year 2. Saline Elementary is our only new school this year. Saline Intermediate is in year 2, and William Ford is in year 2. And I've shown what areas that they put them into focus status. Focus status, of course, are the schools in the state that have the 10% highest account difference between their top 30 kids and their bottom 30 kids. The reason I put an asterisk next to Dearborn High and Hague is because this year Dearborn High qualified because of their reading, science, and social studies scores. Last year Dearborn High qualified because of their math, science, and social studies scores. So Dearborn High was successful in diminishing that gap in math, but then the reading gap became large enough to qualify them. Hague last year qualified in all 5 areas: math, science, social studies, reading, and writing. And they were able to close their scores in social studies. I take the time to point this out just to kind of underline the arbitrary nature of how focus schools are identified, and to remind you that since they started focus schools 3 years ago, we've had 13 Dearborn schools identified at one time or another as a focus school. So 7 other schools have moved out of that focus designation, but as we know, schools can go back in. One just kind of footnote is that this year, because of the M-STEP testing, which is going to be kind of a new baseline data, they will not be identifying any new focus or priority schools for the next year. Our current focus schools will have the opportunity to get out of focus status, so that's good incentive for that, but we'll be kind of on a hiatus for a little bit as we move forward. Looking at the individual focus schools from kind of a district lens, reading remains, of course, a major problem in that 4 of our schools still have been identified as focus because of reading. So, of course, our literacy interventions will continue to be strong and foremost. Probably a greater concern, though, is that all 5 of our elementaries were identified because of their gaps in math. And of course, I know there have been reports to the board, the steps that we're taking to reinforce and really strengthen our elementary math program. The math workshop model has been instituted in almost all of our elementary schools. We've started, this is in the 2nd year of our math leaders workshop, where we're bringing in leaders from the school, go back and train their staffs. And then, of course, this year we've introduced the NWEA testing, and already we have a lot of teachers and parents pretty excited about even the initial results, just because it gives us such great information, item by item, objective by objective. And I think that's going to help us as we move forward, really identifying the specific needs of our kids. The Etzel Ford Summary, our one priority school, they're in year 2. That's a 4-year cohort no matter what. But of course, the great news I shared with you earlier in the year, they moved from a top to bottom ranking of 0 to 29. And it should be noted that they went up in every tested area on both the ACT and the MME. And some of these were kind of nominal improvements, but some of them were in double digits. So Etzel Ford is being recognized across the state as a priority school that is definitely moving in the right direction. They're also being recognized for their school-wide culture and climate initiatives. Those of you who have been in Etzel Ford have noticed there are beautiful murals throughout the building now. The whole school is lighter and brighter. There's a lot more personal touches. Teachers outside their doors have put pictures and where they went to school. There's a lot more conversation, a lot more investiture in getting the kids involved in their own education, taking responsibility for their own success and moving forward. Science is the only area in the Etzel Ford printouts where Etzel Ford at all shows up in an area of concern, and it's not even an area of great concern. So across the board, Etzel Ford is making great progress, and as I said, they're being recognized for doing this. Next steps, we will continue to implement and monitor our interventions that have been identified in your packet, provide focused and timely professional development for our teachers, closely monitor the student achievement, of course, monitoring the subgroups and our demographics as those change, throughout the years. Get ready for spring testing, whatever they're going to throw at us this year. Continue our dropout initiatives, and of course, keep the lines of communication open between the state and the county and our efforts here, and also to make sure that our students and parents are on board. And I really did want to finish on a very upbeat note. And there's a third designation which doesn't get as much attention as the focus and priority schools, and those are the reward schools. And these are schools designated by the Michigan Department of Ed on the top to bottom list that are falling within the top 10% of schools across the state of Michigan. There's 3 different ways you can become a reward school. One is through high achievement, being in the top 10% of the schools in the state. And a couple of our schools qualify, Howard and Henry Ford Early College. And Henry Ford Early College, as a reminder, got a top to bottom ranking of 99 for the 2nd year in a row. That's as high as you can possibly go. Second way you can get identified as a reward school is to be called a high achieving school. These are schools that are getting better faster than other schools in the same cohort, and 4 of our schools qualified for that. That would be Howe, Lindbergh, Maples, and McCullough. And then the third way you can get on is a designation that's been around for quite a while. It's called Beating the Odds schools. And these are schools who, based on their demographics, are outperforming other schools with similar demographics. And that was Becker, Henry Ford Early College, and Maples all fell in. So you can be identified in more than one category. And so these 7 schools deserve recognition, and a number of them were invited and did present at the State School Improvement Conference back in November. So they're getting a little bit of recognition, but I think we tend to focus sometimes on the schools that are in trouble and don't celebrate our successes as much as we can. So that, in a nutshell, is your first quarter focus and priority school for 2014-15, and I'd be happy to take any questions or comments you have.
Any questions? Mr. Guido?
No.
Oh, no?
No.
Great
Thank
job.
you. We're lucky to have Ms. McBroom.
Good news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're lucky to have you. It's a tough job.
Okay. Trustee Lane?
I saw that the state has identified when and what tests the students are going to be taking in the spring, so I was going to ask Superintendent Whiston if you would schedule an upcoming board meeting to tell us about that. I hope that we know what is on the tests, not that we're teaching to the test, but it is nice to know what the students are going to be testing on, so I wanted to ask whether we know.
Yes, the schedule has been set, and just
Right.
recently, in the last couple of weeks, they've started releasing items. And Dr. Klee would probably be the person to address you in more detail. But yeah, we're getting a lot more information now. So.
Well, I mean, what are
It's
you going to
been a
say?
mess.
Yeah, I mean, when you're halfway through the school year and then they tell you what you're going to be tested on? Is that fair?
Well, just like giving us an opportunity to get out of focus status, and I'm confident that they haven't determined what that is yet,
Yeah.
but the opportunity's there. Sorry.
Trustee Adams?
I just want to make a comment. I think that's very impressive that what Etzel Ford has done.
Yes.
I know they've worked very, very hard. I know that. But the other schools, the reward schools, and they don't get the same, focus, but I'm very pleased that they've done so well. So
Absolutely.
as a district, I think we're working hard. And thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One other comment. I don't know whether we're going to have a presentation on this, but I love the idea that students are going to be having their own portfolio, their learning plan. And of course, that will give them more responsibility. I think that's a really positive development because education is a gift. And I know sometimes our students don't realize that, what a gift it is. Here, we just assume that everyone in the United States will have the gift of education, but a lot of places, children don't have that. We just assume that we'll have food, and not everyone, of course, has shelter, but education is a huge gift, and it enables all of us to perform in the future. So I'm really glad that as a district, we're going to be moving that way so that everybody will have their own portfolio of what they want to learn and when they're going to do it, and that's, I think that's a great advance in another great thing that our district is doing.
We'll be giving reports on that.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Action item, special consideration of an action item. Are there any agenda items on this agenda which board members or the superintendent wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we'll exclude these from the motion below.
Yeah, we do have supplements up to 21, I
A
think.
lot of
We have
22.
supplements up to 22.
22 is,
16.
All right.
Can I ask a question in advance on the policy? Those are pretty much.
We have to wait for the motion,
yeah.
unless you want to pull it.
It's just a
been
general
holding steady on
question.
that
It's
one.
not going to
I
affect
know,
my vote.
but it's Robert's Rules of Order.
All right, so
It's
did
that
we get a
silly
motion?
little
There
thing.
was, no, she didn't even read them. There was, we're not pulling any?
I would like to pull 13.
13, okay. Any others? Want to go ahead and read the motion then?
Recommended action, move that action items numbered 1 through 22 be approved as recommended in this agenda with the exception of 13.
So moved.
Got a motion support, trustee Lane?
I just wanted to ask on the policy, I don't know who's on the policy committee. Are those all pretty much federal? I think they're federal or state mandated. I have to
Yes.
confess, I did not
Like
read all
NOLA or
100
whatever.
pages of
Is that
that,
NOLA?
too.
Neola.
Yeah.
Neola, and they were also redundant
Yeah.
because we have sections for students, staff, and then everyone else. And so everything is really 3 times as large as it needs to be because we have to update it in all 3 sections. But yes, there was nothing that I recall that was not mandated.
The wording was even given to us,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
just standard housekeeping, so to speak.
Boilerplate.
Yeah, exactly.
Trustee Shellis?
I have a question about number 19. We had some reinstatements, and I was not on that committee, and I don't know if we got something and I missed it, but I just wanted to get the reassurance from the
19 and
reinstatement
20.
committee that all the Ts are crossed and Is are dotted, and we are comfortable moving forward.
Trustee McDonald, you want to comment on that?
Yes, I will. The reinstatement committee had a hearing for 2 students, and both of them, there are certain contingencies, certain stipulations put on their reinstatement, including everything from attendance to academics to behavior. And as long as they comply with those, it is the recommendation of the committee to allow these students.
So they've all been complied with?
Yes, but going forward also, as far as, they have complied with the ones?
So the ones that we set forth when the expulsions happened have been fulfilled?
Yes. And going forward as part
There's
of their,
additional,
there are additional.
Okay, because it was not my understanding of what happened, but that's why I'm asking.
I mean, you 2 served, right?
We
Yes.
did.
Did you want to add anything, Jim?
No.
Who's here?
I'm just concerned because we put requirements not just as a punishment, but because,
I think all of us are concerned to the extent that we looked at the psychiatric reports, we looked at psychological reports, and those verified that the individual represented no threat to themselves or to others. And I think that
But we
that's the
also
most
put-
important thing that we look at when we're.
I don't disagree that those are the most important, but we also put stipulations on for things like community service because it's important for a student to grow as an individual because of this process. And
Absolutely.
I just want to state my concern that if we aren't going to require, then we shouldn't give those requirements in the first place.
I think that your thoughts are well-founded, and I think that it was our recommendation that they continue some community service
Yes.
also.
I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. Mr. Wistrand, what I'd like to see happen is, why don't you give us a report on that?
Yep, those
With
two.
the old conditions and what they've met, and what the new conditions are too, so. Trustee Lane?
I would just agree with Trustee Shellis. We take this seriously. This is very seriously, and we don't.
The only reason I'm stepping in here is
No, no, I
we're
understand, but
going,
I know.
I'm not
I just.
talking, I mean, there's
no,
there's
no.
two situations here,
Right.
and all I'm asking for is because we didn't get a board report, and I just
Yes.
want to make sure that the information that I'm being given is accurate, and I'm getting contradictory information, and that's what concerns me.
No, I
And-
think that in the future, we should have a board report, that everything should be completed, I will say, a Tuesday before a Thursday.
Well, and I understand that we
board
need to be
notes,
flexible.
and
I'm
so
not,
that-
we need to
No,
get these
you
students
know,
back in school as soon as possible, so don't get me wrong. I
Amy,
understand that, but I think
we share
that-
your concerns.
that
Yes, we
whenever,
do.
if
Anyone that's not sitting there shares your concerns. And even if you're sitting there, we have concerns at times.
you know, even if we allow these students back into school, they shouldn't get a free pass on the responsibilities that they were required to do based on the reinstatement, is all I'm saying.
Agreed.
Exactly.
we're all
So,
in
you know,
agreement
if they
there.
didn't
Yeah.
fulfill it, then there needs to be a reasonable time and explanation of what the requirements are, because we set those requirements for a reason, and it's not punishment, it's for growth. And the students get expelled for very serious reasons, and we as a district need to be very serious when they come back. And I just,
No, well said.
And I
Yes,
think
I
that's
agree.
worth saying publicly. We're not getting into a discussion of any of the
No,
specifics, so, but I
it's
would
not
like
to
to.
one
re-
particular
right.
student, it's any
No,
student.
exactly,
It's a
and I would like to,
general,
to reiterate that as a board member, I take it very seriously, and if the student and their family hasn't met the requirement.
I wasn't saying that your question or comments are in order. I just started hearing some words or kind of flags to me that I had to slow it down.
No, I just want
No,
to state it
expulsion
publicly.
requires 7. Readmittance only requires 2. And so,
No,
at the minimum.
readmission does not require 2, readmission requires 4.
Okay.
Well, I think he's talking board.
Committee of
The
two,
committee
of two,
of two
but-
will
Right.
give
Yes.
a
Right.
recommendation.
But it
That's just
takes
a
4
recommendation.
votes.
And so, once again, I think that your thoughts are well-spoken. I think that basically there should be a report to the board as a whole so that they can question it, so that they can hold it back if they don't feel that things are significant. The report should include the specifications, the requirements that we had them comply with, and how they complied with. There's no question in my mind
Agreed.
that those things should be included.
We're all in agreement there, so.
Mhm.
yeah.
No, I think that, you know, it's right, but it has not been done in the past, and so.
It was
I
for a little
applaud
while.
her for asking
It was
that.
for a short period of time.
Okay.
The reinstatement committee, I have to
Mhm.
say, is a very difficult committee to serve on, and none of the members take that job lightly. And we go back and forth with thoughts and ideas and concerns, and we make that all known to everyone involved.
Right, but
You
we
know,
didn't
we
know.
did give,
No, I know.
we do
That's
give
all I'm trying
deference
to say
I
is
to
that-
understand.
principals, we do give deference to, you know, the individuals that supposedly are working with this individual, including Mr. Mashur. And so, you know, we listen to these people, and with a strong recommendation from these people, we usually don't say no.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. I think we need to get students back in the classroom as soon as possible, because taking, you know, any day they miss of an education doesn't make the problem any better. I'm just saying that if we're going to set a requirement for students, then we should require that that happens. And if it doesn't happen in the time frame that we've asked, then we need to set a new time frame, but the expectation needs to remain.
And I'm saying
Agreed.
board notes on Thursday should indicate how they've complied with that
Correct.
requirement, and I agree with you 1,000%.
As do I.
Mhm.
7
Perfect.
board members expelled
Yeah, I know.
one tonight. So they all need to
And
be
we've
aware of,
unfortunately had a lot of expulsions
We
last year,
did.
so we have a
We
lot
did.
of restatements coming.
but all 7 board members also have to agree to take a student
Reinstate.
back.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? We still have the motion on the table. Are there any objections? Motion carries. Let's go to summary, please.
Summary of agenda action items. Number 1, approval of warrants, which are items for payment by the district and have been reviewed by the administration. Number 2, approval of contract for paging system integration at Dearborn Heights Building. Number 3, approval of technology change orders. Number 4, approval of award contracts for 2 vans. Number 5, approval of change orders for bond projects. 6, approval of contracts for roofing, swimming pool, and hard-time work. Number 7 through 8, approval of non-instructional and instructional personnel items for P12. Number 11, approval of financial statements. Number 12, approval of policy updates changes. Number 14, approval of appointment of Coordinator 2 Early Child and Great Start Readiness Program. Number 15, approval of appointment of Coordinator IELL. Number 16, approval of appointment of Principal of Duval Elementary School. Number 17, approval of donations. 18, approval of award of contract. Number 19, approval of reinstatement of O.L. Smith student. Number 20, approval of reinstatement of Fordson student. Number 21, approval of appointment of assistant principal at Smith Middle School. Number 22, approval of expulsion of EFHS student.
Mr. Wisterman.
Thank you. I would like to mention that I'm not sure if all 4 were able to make it, but Laura Franey was appointed to Coordinator 2 for Early Childhood. Maylee Masalam, who I do see, is appointed Coordinator 1 of ELL. Bob Addy, Principal at Duval School. And Miriam Kovesi, Assistant Principal at Smith. If any of those 4 are here, please come forward.
Stand up, yeah.
Please come forward real quickly.
3 of them.
Just want to welcome you to the district.
Congratulations. on your new endeavor.
I'm Laura Franey, and I'm going to be the coordinator to it, Qatar.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
I'm Maylee Masalam, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Good luck to you.
Hi, I'm Bob Addy. Thank you, Mr. Whiston, members of the Board of Education, for allowing me the opportunity to become principal at Duval Elementary. Thank you.
Those will be in good hands. Congratulations. Let's go back. Is that it?
Yep.
Let's go back to 13, please.
Approval of District Employment Practices Study, Board Reports 14-70, background information. At the September 8th, 2014 Board of Education meeting, the board discussed a review of the district's employment practices by an independent consultant. As part of the continuous improvement process, the board would like to conduct a study to review administrative leadership and hiring practices and procedures. The board has reviewed the scope of work per Board Reports 14-70 to solicit proposals for an independent consultant. Recommended action, move that the Board Report 1470, scope of work, to be approved to solicit proposals for an independent consultant to review administrative leadership and hiring practices and procedures.
So moved.
Support.
Motion support. Trustee Schellis.
I just wanted to pull this item because I think that it's important, and we didn't have a lot of public discussion about it. And I think that it's something that warrants at least having another conversation before we vote on it. I don't know if this is anything that you want to speak on per se, but in the past, we've had some issues come to light, and as a board, it's really difficult because we try to create policies and procedures that make everything or create an even playing field, and we rely on those policies and procedures. And I think that this is this study is more for our information, or at least in my understanding, is for us to have a good grasp on what is reality versus what is perception. And I think that it's an expense that I wish we didn't have to make, because I think that money could be used in many other different ways, but I guess at this point in time, I think that it's necessary. But I didn't want it to go unnoticed and without any discussion.
I think that there's nothing wrong with the board asking for verification that our hiring procedures and our hiring practices are the best that we can do. And that's basically what the board is asking.
Trustee Lane?
I looked at the document, and I would like to suggest that under section A1 that we add not just review and make a recommendation or comments on our strengths, but also suggestions for improvements. I mean, that's the main reason we're doing it.
That's
We're
number
not-
2.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
number
right,
2.
so it didn't include it in A1, but,
Yeah, A2. A1's the positive, A2 is if you have issues.
okay, all right, but I want, it's not just for me, it's not just about feeling good that we're doing something good. We want to know what we can do better, so that's the whole point for me. So that has to be in there, so.
The last time we discussed this, my point was that, we're a good school district. In order to become a great district, you need to find out what your weaknesses are, okay? And if our employees and other people are telling us that, hey, something's going on here, it could be like Trustee Schell said, it could be maybe it's not a real, maybe it's just what they're perceiving that they're bringing into us. So with this study right here, there's no doubt in my mind it's going to come back and tell us that, hey, you're doing a good job. Of course, we're a huge district. We're the third largest in the state. There are going to be issues. For morale issues, district-wide, we need to check ourselves on this, and there's no doubt in my mind when the results that come in, we're going to be a lot better off for it. So that was.
I only disagree that we're not a good school district. In my opinion, we're a great district. I think every day, 20,000 students come to our buildings and 2,500 people. And it's a miracle every day that people make progress and become productive and contribute to each other, and we form a great, so we're not just good, we're great, and we're
on our way to great. That's my opinion.
I think we're
we have,
great
we have
already.
some we have some areas where we can still grow. We've done some great things.
We can improve.
Well, if you can,
but we're great. We're a leader in the state of Michigan.
Sure.
I'm very proud of what we do, so I just quibble on
I agree
the
with
use
you
of
there.
the
I'm
word
very proud of what we
good.
do too, but
I
there are
think
some
we're
room
great,
to improve.
Well, we've got awards saying we're great, so there you
we're
go.
great. We're gonna go
Jim's
from
leaving
there.
on a high note.
And I'm taking them with me.
I mean, really,
We'll leave that one
it
alone.
is a great
No, I understand
thing
what you're
that
saying.
we
No,
take
no.
a child from 3 years old
I
to,
couldn't be any prouder of this
by the time
district.
they're leaving here, they're college ready, they're career ready. It's a great thing. It's a miracle, really.
And they contribute to the community.
couldn't
Yeah,
be-
exactly.
Trustee Lane, I couldn't be any prouder of this district. But once you get to a point to say we're great, all of a sudden the growth slows down.
Yeah, we can't
This
sit
was an
still.
issue that's come up the last few years.
Yes, no
Let's
doubt.
look into it.
No
Let's
doubt.
move on.
Certainly,
Trustee
I
Schellis.
don't disagree.
I agree with, Trustee Lane. I've always been proud to be in this district, and I have the utmost confidence in the district. And, I've always had people ask me, well, where do you send your kids to school? Because I think that some people think that when you're on the board, you have your choice to send your kid to whatever school you want to. But I'm confident that I feel comfortable sending my own children to any school within our district. And I don't just say that, I truly feel that way. I think we have a lot of great individuals. I think that, when I do homework with my son, I'm amazed that one person can sit in a room with 25 to 38-year-olds and actually get anything accomplished. I'm quite impressed with that. But when things are brought to light, those things start to fade, and it's the small bit of negativity that gets the attention. And I think that it's important for us as the managers of a business to make sure that everything is running the way that we expect it to be running. And like I said, I don't expect there to be any big surprises, but whatever can help with morale and can help us refine our process. I think that no matter how great you are, you can always be better than you were yesterday. And so that's what I'm hoping comes from this study, and I hope that it ends up being money well spent. And so I personally would like us to take our time. I don't want this to be a rushed process. I want us to be very clear and focused on what we're looking to attain and what we're looking to benefit out of it, because I think that we can get good information out of it. And just like we expect our teachers to look at their practices and how they can improve and talk to each other to see how they can improve. This is just one area of our business that we're doing the same thing for.
Sure. Anybody else? Did you want a roll call vote?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
don't need a roll call vote.
Motion on the table and support. Are there any objections?
Nope.
Okay, motion carries. When you're ready, next item?
Discussion items.
None.
Acknowledgement of correspondence.
Anybody?
I don't think I've received any.
No K-12.
Yeah.
We got one from Henry Ford. involving a nursing student again.
Oh, we dealt with, we discussed
Email.
that.
Mhm,
I
the
don't
email.
remember getting that, but
It was an email, it was a follow-up email
It
from
was a
from the
follow-up
student
email.
that came to.
About the test.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
That was time flies. It seemed like it was a long time ago, but you're probably right.
No, we just got another one the other day.
Oh, I don't remember seeing it then. And I look at my HFC
It was
email.
actually a copy, it wasn't directly to us. I think it was back and correspondence back and forth to
And
Dr.
Dr. Jensen
I'll have to
sent
look
it
at
to
it.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Board of
item.
Education business, board member committee and organization reports. I'm not sure that we've had any committees.
No?
Okay, next item.
One quick thing, sorry. Next year, come January, we'll be looking at committees again, and, I would like to know if there's any committees that any of the, board members that'll be serving next year wish to serve on or wish not to serve on, so that we can, look at that. So if you, did you like that, Joe? I opened the door for you.
Yes, you not to serve on list right away.
See, what we should do is like, we should do a foundation, education foundation fundraiser and like have board members paid and not have to serve on committees.
That's a great idea.
We'd make a lot of money.
Anyway, but if there's,
Break me.
if there,
We
if
do
there's a
want to give
committee that,
opportunities to the new board members.
if there, and to the new board
That's how
members too,
they'll
if there's
learn.
I already have heard from a couple of them, if there's committees that you wish to serve on or would like to serve on, let me know and we'll see what we can work out.
Next item.
Board member commentary.
Trustee McDonald.
I just want to say, this past weekend was Goodfellows paper sales, and so many of the district employees and students and just community members in general are very involved in that program, and it's an exceptional program that serves so many of our students and our children in our community. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the hard work of the volunteers. And we have a lot more volunteer opportunities coming up. They have packaging night, I believe it's Friday the 19th, and also delivery days. So if you're interested in that, information's on the Goodfellows website. But kudos for the hard work those folks do.
There was a picture of a certain individual to my right here that was all over the internet.
David,
Gotta love those socks.
he made
Anybody
us wear
else?
shorts.
I have one other thing, I'm sorry. Brian, do you want me to mention
You can.
Okay. Typically, the incoming president would present the outgoing president with a gavel, and this is our last meeting. Normally, we don't do this until January, so we were late in ordering your gavel. So
You have to come to
you
January's
have to
meeting.
come back to the
Are you trying to block me
January
from coming to the
meeting.
January meeting?
Yeah,
Boy,
so
what
if you
incentive.
could come to the January meeting, we would appreciate it as a
I'd be
board
happy
so
to.
that we can
I'd be happy to,
honor
yes.
your service as the president of the board.
Thank you, and I would be happy to.
Of course, Pam and Jim are always.
Well, yeah,
welcome.
you're always, we'll save
Be
a
at area code 813 by then.
We will put an honorary, save an honorary seat for you right in the front row, camera center.
Yeah, there you go.
He's laughing at you. He's gonna be laughing at you all the way to Florida.
He's gonna be watching us on the internet.
Okay, no other commentaries. Next item, please.
Request for information and/or future agenda items.
Gotten several tonight.
Trustee McDonald?
One more I'd like to add. We have had a lot of expulsions and reinstatements in the last few years, and we are supposed to get some updates on students that have been reinstated, how they're doing in the district, and I haven't seen one in a while, so I think we might be due. I'd just like to keep involved in those students, see how they're doing as far as academically
Yeah, that's really
and
a super corollary to what Amy is suggesting, that we have follow-up.
absolutely.
Trustee Lane?
Ms. McBroom mentioned earlier Mr. Harrison flipping the classroom at Edsel, and it's a little bit off, but I would like to have a presentation on, perhaps by Mr. Harrison or any of the teachers that are doing that, to know how effective that's being. People are talking about it a lot, but are the results there? So perhaps that would be an appropriate presentation in the future.
Okay.
I know other districts that have been doing it for a while are finding great success with it. So I hope we do too.
Hopefully.
I
Next
believe
item,
we have
please.
a few teachers that are doing it too. It's,
There
it's
probably
growing.
are some that are
Yeah.
using that.
Next item, superintendent's reports.
None?
Moving right along, future meeting dates, Monday, December 15, 2014, HFC meeting, 7 PM at the Andrew Mazzara Service and Conference Center in the Roseno Boardroom, Henry Ford College. Monday, January 12, 2015, Organizational Board of Education meeting, 6:45 PM at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom. Monday, January 12, 2015, P12 Board of Education meeting, 7 PM at the Administrative Service Center in the Frank Franchi Boardroom. Tuesday, January 20th, 2015, HFC meeting, 7 PM at the Andrew Mazzara Service and Conference Center in the Roseno Boardroom, Henry Ford College.
Thank you, and we are adjourned.